Would you demonstrate how to set up passkeys on users in a random OU? If you'd like to configure Google's brand new passkeys feature for your staff, you can help to improve the security of your team members by allowing them to, where possible, avoid using a manual password and instead using the biometrics of their device to log into their account. Now, this may work if you're operating on a mobile, and most desktop computers also support this as well, either with a fingerprint scanner or with using your phone as the biometric scanner to get into your account. Now, do passkeys mean the end of passwords forever? Maybe, we'll see. Passkeys are being rolled out to many different applications, and they're a safer way of identifying who is the person accessing an account, and it's one less password to enter, so that if you've got some kind of compromise on your local device, you're less likely to be compromised by someone else learning your password. So are passkeys a good thing? Yes. Should you set them up? Definitely. Do you need to change a setting in your workspace account for it to work? Yes, you do. Let's look at how we do that. Jumping into your admin panel, you will need to be an administrator for this. admin.google.com will get you in. And in the security menu, you will see Authentication. And there you will have what's here called passwordless, but this actually relates to Passkeys. Now, if you want to roll this out for your whole company, that's everyone in the business, you just go ahead and tick the button and then go ahead and click save, and that's going to roll it out for everyone. But like everything in the Google admin panel, if you want to change a setting just for a particular subset of users rather than absolutely everyone in the company, well, you should set up an organizational unit. Now, you'll see here on my test account, I've got lots of different organizational units because lots of people have set up their own tests. If I, for example, go into my OU, which is called board here, I can change the settings just for this OU. And you'll see here that when I change a setting at the OU level, which is for anyone not in the IT world, basically just a folder of users, it will give me the option to override. So you'll see here, the normal setting, I change the setting, it says override. What that means is this is going to change just for this organizational unit, but leave the global setting here at the top level. So I've gone back to the top level and I can see the global setting is there. You can see there's a little indication dot here that something has been changed or overridden. Thank you, Google, for making our life a bit easier there. I can click through to my individual organizational unit. That'll show me that the setting has been changed just for that OU or group of staff. Now, importantly, if you want this to actually work, number one, you've got to create your OU, right? So there's actually an area specifically for setting up the OUs. You go to the directory first, and then you set up your organizational units. But there's one final step that you actually need to do for this to work, and that is that you've got to put the users in the organizational units. Otherwise, they're not going to have the policy applied to them. So I'll go to users. I'll find a user that I want to add. I tick their name, and under the more options menu, I go to change organizational unit. And that's where if I wanted to apply this policy to that user, I would put them into the right folder or OU, and then they're going to have all of the policies of that OU applied to them. Now, the final step, let's go back to our settings here. I'm going to go to my security and then passwordless. If I wanted to revert this back and change so that this OU inherits the settings of every other setting at the top level, obvious there's a button called inherit, and there we go. It'll set it back to taking on the settings of the very top OU. There we go, we've got that done. So that's how you do that. Now, I'll throw in a little bonus tip for you, because if you're managing your security and you're rolling out passwords, there's some extra things you can do to improve the security of your account. If you head along to two-step verification, we mention this in almost every single video on the channel. You absolutely must enforce two-factor authentication across your domain. You are crazy if you do not have this switched on and enforced for your team. There is no excuse and no reason ever where it would be appropriate to not have this properly enforced across your team. If you've got a printer sitting in your office and that can't use two-factor to send an email when you do a scan, there are ways of configuring that in the account. I'll save those for another video. There is no reason why you should not have two-factor authentication set up for your users. Now, if that's switched off right now and you need to switch it on, Well, there's a way of doing that without messing things up for your team. And that is that you switch it on from a certain date. My recommendation is you choose 1 or 2 weeks in the future. You give everyone in the company a heads up, hey, go ahead and switch on two-factor authentication, and give them time to go and set it up. They will be prompted when they next log into their account to go and set it up, but they can also go to their account, accounts.google.com, and they can go to the security tab and set up two-factor authentication themselves by adding an authenticator app. Now, it is not really my recommendation to use a phone number for two-factor authentication. The reason for that is there are hacks and ways that someone can transport your phone number to another account, and by that I mean another SIM card, and with that SIM card then do a password reset, get a code to your SIM card, and potentially get into your account. Doesn't happen all the time. Phone companies have got a lot better at stopping these kind of attacks, but it can happen, and it's one of the ways that people can get in. So you're much safer to be using a passkey that we just set up or an app on your phone as the authenticator. That is the best practice. If you want to change that setting, there's also a setting that you can use for that. So back in our admin console, under two-step verification, you'll see here you can use any verification method except text or phone call, and that protects you from those kind of attacks. This is our recommended best practice for two-factor authentication. It's been tried and tested, and I have thousands of customers on Google Workspace, 25,000 employees that we support across all of the companies that we look after, never had this compromised. The only time accounts get compromised is when someone doesn't have two-factor authentication switched on, which is why it's one of the first things that we check when you become a customer of itGenius. So if you're interested in that, click on the link down below, have a chat to our team, do a free audit of your account, free health check. Let us, peek under the hood, see what's going on in there, completely complimentary. We won't hard sell you, and we're just here to help you get the most out of your admin account. If you're the person who's responsible for setting up the account and maintaining it, we have a concierge service to make your life easy. Or if you want to learn more, let me show you something really cool that we're doing now. You can head along to something we're calling office hours. And so once a month, I'm doing a private hangout for our customers. And here we actually cover a training that is specific to something topical. We did Gemini and Notebook LM last month. The recording is there for our concierge customers. This month, we're doing cleaning up your Google Drive, which everyone needs to do. So those are private sessions where we take you through everything you need to know about Workspace, and then we go to open Q&A and we workshop things with you on the call. So if you want to share your screen and have me or one of my teammates help you out, we bring some support people. I cover them live, or sometimes Scott, my business partner, covers those as well. You will get amazing value out of that. If you want to check that out, head along itgenius.com. Consider joining up to Concierge. We've got new plans coming out very soon, and we'd love to have you as a customer.